Welcome into the Extra Point here on A to Z Sports Nashville.com at Genesis of Cool Springs. And don't forget, for the rest of this week, the rest of March, you can go to our gear website, shop.A2ZSportsNashville.com, and use the promo code MADNESS to get 20% off of all of our A to Z sports gear. So again, shop.A2ZSportsNashville.com, promo code MADNESS. So Zach, the college football targeting rule has now come to the NFL. This broke at the NFL owners meetings in Orlando on Tuesday, that the NFL has announced the new targeting rule. It is now a foul if a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent anywhere on the field, and that the player may now be disqualified if that happens. What's your initial reaction to this?
Well, I understand why they did it because of the safety issue. The CTE thing is taking over football in general, and it's scary because you're dealing with people's lives of not remembering. You're ruining people's lives, essentially. So I understand why they did it, but I hate it for the sport. I hate it for the sport because key players are going to get disqualified.
Yeah.
Key defensive players. If let's say the Panthers are in a heated game to make the playoffs and Luke Kuechly gets disqualified in the second quarter because he just made a hit, that impacts that team a great deal. That puts a massive disadvantage. And I know it's going to take some getting used to, but that's what I hate about college football is they'll kick you out at the snap of the finger.
Yeah, and what I hate about the college football targeting rule, and again, I think the worst rule in college football now coming to the NFL is a real thing, because in college football, it's either no penalty, no ejection, or a penalty and an ejection. I don't think you have to get ejected. And in college football, if you're a senior, and you get 12 games your senior year guaranteed, that's a big chunk that you're missing of your senior season where you're not getting paid. You're not getting all this compensation like NFL players are. So I think disqualification is something that you can call a penalty. I get it. If I lower my head and hit you with this part of my helmet, throw a 15-yard penalty. That's fine. Don't necessarily kick the player out, because I think this does get really tricky. And plus now offensive players know this. So does a receiver going over the middle catch a football, put his head down in order to get a helmet-to-helmet contact towards him? That's something that defenders can't control. Same thing with a quarterback in the pocket. They throw and then put their head down so the defender hits them right in the helmet, and boom, they're ejected from the game. I think that's where referees have to understand that you cannot let offensive players dictate where the defensive player hits them, because that's not fair for the defense, because the NFL has made a lot of rules over the last decade plus that benefit the offensive players, and this is just another one of those.
Yeah, I think the big tail of the tape is going to be the first quarter of the NFL football season. How these referees actually treat this rule.
Yeah.
Are they quick to kick you out, or are they going to give some leeway? It's just a 15-yard penalty. Because if they're more liberal with it, I think it's going to hurt the game. If they're more conservative and say, look, we're going to be particular, you have to actually mean to do this, project your head, then you're going to get, it's got to be tough to do.
I think intent is important, and if a guy is just clearly lowering his head and has his eyes on the turf, then I'm cool with kicking that dude out, because he's in danger of himself. I think teaching tackling in youth football needs to be more important, and I think people are taking strides to do that. It just hasn't gotten to the NFL yet. But here was a text that Adam Schefter tweeted out from a former NFL linebacker about this new rule. Quote, "Can't believe how ridiculous this lowering of the head thing is. Go back and watch any game and you'll probably see 30 to 50 examples of guys lowering their head on contact. A blanking mess. Why does the NFL want to self-destruct?" End quote from that former linebacker. Look, you've got to be able to keep your head up, and if you want to hit with your face mask and lead with your shoulder. I was taught this at age 7 years old. See with your eyes. Let your eyes lead you to the defender, and don't put your head down, because you could seriously hurt yourself.
Yeah, but in the heat of the battle, things happen, things change, and it's going to be resulting of that guy actually getting kicked out because of it. They're not going to kick out 30 to 40 people every single game.
Yeah.
That would really self-destruct. But they have to make these rules to protect the players, but more importantly, to protect the shield.
Yeah, there's a difference in self-destruction and self-preservation of the NFL.
Well, and I think that they're drawing a fine line.
That's a seesaw right there.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out.
All right, and that's today's Extra Point on A to Z Sports Nashville.com.